Alright, what's going on, guys? We got a trade recap today for Friday, May 9th. I took a loss today right here on NQ. This is where I went long right here. And in my opinion, it was a valid loss. We're gonna go over the trade. And what I was thinking and why I entered here. And why I think it went wrong, because it was a little bit of a mixed bias when it comes to the higher time frames. So yesterday we had this buy model that played out. We took this daily high here, and my bias for the whole week is that I wanted to see expansion to this weekly high. If we just go to the daily chart, I wanted to see this weekly high get taken. And so we had kind of formed this range on the 1 hour chart. We were holding this 1 hour bullish for value gap right here. And we also had this 1 hour bearish for value gap right here. Dang, market is just selling right now. But we had this 1 hour bearish for value gap as well. So I wanted to see kind of how price was going to react in this area on the 15-minute chart. And you can see that even on the 1 hour chart, we did come up and inverse this 1 hour for value gap right here. So scaling to the 15-minute chart, I also noticed that we had started to make our way up, and we were maintaining bullish structure throughout the overnight and pre-market. And so with that in mind, we also had this 15-minute bullish imbalance right here, and this was gonna kind of determine my bias for the morning. I wanted to see how we were gonna react off of this 15-minute imbalance. If we were gonna manipulate within it and get bullish reactions, then I was good to take longs to the internal model, because right here, an internal model. Also keeping in mind that the higher time frame bias in general has been bullish. And like I said, we had this bullish structure that was forming. We ended up closing above this 1 hour for value gap as well right here. So this gave me confidence in taking the trade here. And if we scale into the 1 minute chart, we actually had an SMT with ES. ES looked like it wanted to sell off, but I had this marked out as my market structure shift, and I told myself I wanted to see us get displacement below these lows here. If not, then I was good to be bullish on NQ, especially with this SMT right here. This is the SMT. ES came down and took these lows right here. NQ did not. And so we were holding this 15-minute imbalance. We had this SMT, and then we got this displacement higher, and this gave me the confidence to go long here with the SMT, with the displacement. And then also, if we take out the standard deviation of this SMT, it would have matched up dang near perfectly with this external buy side liquidity. Not that I was going to target that. And then extra confluence for this trade. I don't know what caused these irregular wicks pre-market, but we had this irregular wick to the upside, which was also extra confluence for me, especially after holding this 15-minute imbalance. And so we come down, we put in the SMT, we then get a change in the state of delivery, and there was no inverse for value gap, so I did not enter off of the change in the state here, but I did enter on a retest of this for value gap right here. And I actually missed the original entry of this for value gap, and then we came back down and I got filled here. But if we let me just make this a little cleaner. So this technically is we technically did get all three. The change in the state, we inversed the last bearish for value gap in the range up here, and we have the SMT. But this is also like the displacement model. We have the manipulation, the SMT, we then displace higher above this internal swing high, pull back to a 1 minute for value gap, and then this kind of turns into our 1 minute order block as well. So we can just mark this out as an order block, and entered here, boom, on this for value gap right here after this displacement. And then we can see that we originally got bought back up. We come down, get bought back up. I thought we were for sure going to take this 15-minute buy side liquidity. My plan was to move stops to break even once we took out this, because if in my mind, if we're going to take out this liquidity, then we were going to run to this irregular, I have it marked out as a data wick, but this area was my draw on liquidity. And so my risk to reward was about a 1.5 RR because I got filled right in this fair value gap right here. My stops were right here. So it's about a 1.2 and a 1.6 to 1.5 to that external high. So we get filled here, and the market comes down and starts to displace lower. So in my opinion, this was a good trade. The internal model was there. I had reasons to be bullish here, externally as well. It's just in my mind the fact that the higher time frames were a little bit of a mixed bag. After taking this buy side liquidity, today is also a Friday. There's no high impact news, so I kind of knew that we were playing within this range here. And then on ES, we actually ended up holding the 1 hour fair value gap. We actually ended up holding this 1 hour on ES. Boom, and then we get that 5-minute displacement. And then after getting stopped out here on this first trade, after I see that we get this 5-minute displacement lower, I'm like, okay, this now becomes our draw on liquidity down here after holding this 1 hour imbalance. And then here, there's just no pullback to a 5-minute fair value gap in order to execute to potentially go short here. And now that the internal liquidity is already taken, and I've already taken a loss on the day, I'm stepping away from the charts. But as you can see, just a little bit of a mixed bias on the higher when it comes to the higher time frames. I knew that we were within this just range of price, and I had reasons to be bullish here. We inversed this, like I said. We were maintaining bullish structure. We had a bullish SMT. We were holding this 15-minute fair value gap. We got displacement back to the upside after the SMT. In my mind, there's no reason not to enter here. And so just kind of got to take my L today. Unfortunately, we weren't even able to move stops to break even. So took a full loss on this, and or 1 hour loss on this, and it's just a part of trading, man. So as long as your winners eat your losers, you can take good losses like this. And in my opinion, there's no reason to be upset about taking a good loss. If I follow my rules, I saw everything that I needed to see. Internal sweep, SMT, displacement higher, above a significant swing high, pull back to a bullish fair value gap, bullish order block, and just didn't get the reaction that I wanted to see. But so it sucks to end the week off on a Friday, but just gotta take the L and move on. So gonna journal it. Going to get it clear in my mind after this weekend and come into the new trading week next week with a clear mind. Yeah, man, like I said, it's unfortunate that we didn't pull back to a bearish imbalance right here to take the internal model lower on ES specifically. But yeah, man, let me know if y'all took a trade today. To me, this was the only trade of the morning. We originally tapped into it right when market opened. Right when the market opened, we originally tapped into this 15-minute, but then there was no SMT here. So you could say, you could enter on this. This is the inverse. We have the change in the state. There was just no SMT, and so I guess you could have taken that. But yeah, there was no SMT right when the market opened. Tapping into this imbalance, you can see we get the change in the state, inverse. We pull back to the change in the state, and then. Well, honestly, this candle here already took the internal high, so I wouldn't have entered anyways. So that's why I didn't enter there, and then this was the only other trade that I saw. So let me know if y'all took a trade today. That is what I saw. That's the trade recap for me on Friday, May 9th, and I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.